Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm still ill, if I'm completely honest.
And don't forget you can download the news as a podcast if you're out and about by searching for WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from. But coming up today, a huge name has seemingly been confirmed for the Royal Rumble.
A WWE legend could be returning to the ring.
NXT UK TakeOver Blackpool 2 has some extra matches.
I was right about NXT all along.
And, oh bollocks, I should have thought this one through. This is the news,
Hey.
but we start with some news about John Cena and WrestleMania 36. There. But
I can't locate that.
You may remember, of course, he had a brief role to play at WrestleMania 35, coming out as the Doctor of Thugonomics to have a bit of a word with Elias.
Wow.
Well, now John Cena, according to WrestleVotes, so we should say pinch of WrestleVotes in there, but according to WrestleVotes, John Cena reportedly wants to have a big role at WrestleMania 36. He wants to do something substantial, more than just an appearance. Well, he says this year, but it means next year, of course. It's going to take place, of course, in Tampa, April 5th, 2020. Do you want to see a John Cena match next year's WrestleMania?
I think if you want to have a big role, you could just start at the top of the ramp and do it all the way down then, couldn't he? That would qualify. No, I do want to see John Cena have a proper match. It was weirdly his weird little segment at WrestleMania. I mean, is this the first year in 18 years he's broke his at least one pay-per-view match a year streak?
19 years,
19
I think. Yes,
years, yeah. So it was a bit of a... Given that they allowed him into the ring for WrestleMania, he could have just done something during that just to keep that streak going. But I presume they must have thought they had plans for him for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
Or they're just not bothered about made-up records and streaks in WWE, which I'm sure is true. I don't see an obvious opponent for him. Had they not absolutely ruined Shorty G, then Chad Gable would have been an excellent opponent for him, possibly, but I don't see who now.
Yeah, I sincerely hope that whoever he faces isn't just some foreign menace so he can go over like Walter or something.
John Cena versus Walter would be good.
Yeah.
Massive rub for Hamlet, if nothing else.
Indeed. I don't know, let us know. I've had to think about it, and I'd like to change my answer to, I think it was 17 years his streak.
Okay.
I've had to think.
So somewhere in the video, we were correct.
Yes. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. No, we've covered it all.
Anyway, speaking of WWE legends for whom there is no obvious opponent or even desire to see them have a match at WrestleMania, Edge could be returning to the ring. Now, this is further speculation in the Wrestling Observer this week. You may remember there was talk about him signing a contract not that very long ago. He denied it. There was more talk saying he actually did sign a contract. It was a really good one, and it did have a little permission in it for him to potentially wrestle somewhere down the line. He was like, nah, man, nah, I ain't about that life, which of course that is what you would say if you were doing a surprise return at some point. But Wrestling Inc. have today said that there is still talk behind the scenes that is going to happen. Edge is apparently preparing himself for a return either at WrestleMania next year, or more likely as a surprise entrant in the greatest Royal Rumble in South. No, that's the actual Royal Rumble. Now, Edge retired because he was told, you take one more cannonball to the gut, you are going to die, right?
Yes.
And he retired. So what's changed? Is he just allowed to take a bump now?
I think so. Well, he speared Elias a while back, didn't he, on one of the SmackDowns? Which I realise isn't...
I spear you in the office. That ain't a bump.
Okay, fair enough.
It's very different to you spine bustering me on my desk.
Yeah, or, you know, the dangers of it, you can be as safe as you want, but being chucked over the top rope to the floor is probably going to be a bit bumpy.
He's got to do the whole, like, over the thing, on the apron, bump, I land, I fall.
Just slightly sweep his legs away.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but as long as medically it's okay, I would love to see him just have a random appearance or just a random match. But I don't want him. He is jacked, to be fair. I saw him on.
He's in good shape.
He's doing what, Vikings. Yeah. He works out with Sheamus.
Yeah, he was on that really bad DC show.
Oh, was he?
He was on Arrow or Flash or one of them.
Andy Murray's favourite show.
Yeah, I think so. So long as WWE doctors say it's fine, and remember, there's never been any problems with WWE doctors ever. So long as they say it's fine, I'm okay with it.
Exactly.
I want to see him wrestle Ric Flair.
What about a tag team match with his missus, Beth Phoenix?
It would get her off commentary.
All right, let's move on and talk a little bit more about the Royal Rumble match, because according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Cain Velasquez is reportedly booked.
Cain Velasquez. MMA's rubbish.
Yes.
Kane's good though. MMA's rubbish.
Okay, fair enough. We'll have comments. Yeah, he's apparently booked for next year's Royal Rumble match. Of course, he made his in-ring wrestling debut for WWE, at least, at Crown Jewel, losing in like 2 minutes against Brock Lesnar. Well, there was meant to be a second match taking place in November in Mexico City. That got cancelled, rumours about injuries and what have you. But, yes, it seems to be suggested that he could be in the Royal Rumble. And at the moment I read that, I was like, oh, that's nice, get him involved in that. And then I had a horrible pang of, oh God, what if they think it's a good idea for Kane to win it?
Kane to win it, yes.
Cain
Velasquez to win it, absolutely not. I think as we saw with his, squash defeat against Brock Lesnar, no matter how good you are, MMA doesn't prepare you at all for life in the squared circle, and he was roundly handed his own arse on a silver platter. So he's apparently been at the Performance Centre, he is training, he obviously does want to take this seriously, realising of course that he's going to get embarrassed if he doesn't, so yeah, good for him, good for him. I hope they put him in a feud with, Akira Tozawa, that's a secret about his level.
Yeah, well, Akira Tozawa's looked brilliant at putting people over recently. So
Akira Tozawa, put him over? Who about?
Oh, okay. But I think, if you're going to bring him back, and you're not 100% sure of how, what his situation is in the ring, being a place, because he's just a giant bloke who used to just punch people for a living, former UFC heavyweight champion, of course, have him just in there lobbing people out of the ring left, right and centre.
Look, Drew Carey did a Royal Rumble, right? I'm sure Cain Velasquez can manage it.
Yeah, I forgot about Drew Carey.
That's my opinion.
One of the best eliminations, that's all. Didn't he just leg it?
He saw Kane, he saw real Kane and just left himself.
Are we going to get a Kane versus Kane spot at the Rumble?
I hope so. I hope so.
Right, should we move on?
Right.
We've got some big news.
I'm delighted about this. We're going to get the actual figures for you because if I get it wrong, I'm going to look like an absolute idiot.
TLDR, the Wednesday Night War is officially over.
No, it's not. I will say, because I know what people watching this are like. I'm going to caveat this at the start, not at the end. It does not matter how many people are watching each show. The total number of Wednesday night viewers is what should matter to wrestling fans.
Can I just do my brief impression of some of the comment section now? Oh, you didn't see that on AEW one. What are you, a paid AEW shill? The man who presents the show about NXT right here.
The man who presents the show about NXT. God, I hate watching this. You're so overly positive. Why are you paid off by WWE? Then I go on, I'm like, yeah, I actually thought AEW had a couple of good matches. Get Tony Khan, take out your mouth. Bit of fun, yeah, this.
Yeah.
Anyway, the ratings are in, and I'll tell you what, this is the actual first victory for NXT. Now, I know they have beat them in the ratings of the week. AEW's lowest one was like 6 something. NXT got 700 and something. Yes, they did win, but this is their first proper victory, and I'll tell you for why. NXT drew 795,000. Excellent. AEW drew 683,000. Also excellent, just less than that. Now, the key thing here is this is the first time NXT have won the 18 to 49 demographic. Even when they won the other week, air quotes won, they still lost that demographic. They just won on overall viewers. Now, that's important because people over 50 are worthless. As we learned, people over 50 are completely worthless. So everybody wants to get that key 18 to 49 demographic. Because that's what NXT's audience is meant to be, the fresh, young product, a differentiation. Because it's the 50-plus market is who watches Raw and SmackDown.
Yes.
That's their biggest core audience. So to get the actual other market, that shows that NXT is appealing to a new generation of fans.
And I have to say, as much as people go like, well, it was just basically a takeover on TV this week. If I was a casual 18 to 49 person who just flicked over from AEW or just hadn't been watching wrestling and watched NXT, and saw what I saw on Wednesday night, I'd stick around.
But likewise, if you were doing that, you flicked over to AEW on a Wednesday night, you'd probably stick around.
They're both great.
The only thing that gets me is I don't understand why they're not growing. They're sort of like steadying out around this kind of level. It would be so nice. Yes, it was obviously going to be a huge drop-off after the first couple of weeks. We knew that. But if it sort of settled at around the 600 to 800,000 mark every week, just to see a steady growth for all of them. Now, obviously NXT has, if you draw a nice smooth line through it, because they had the huge Survivor Series bump and now this mad TV week with 2 title matches, it would just be nice to see a steady, gradual increase. I can already hear people over 50 in the comments being like, how dare you? What are you hassling me for? Call your daughter back.
The slight explanation for a dip in the viewership can be possibly excused
Don't call yourself that.
by what's going on over in America. But look, like you say, the most important thing is the fact that they both had decent viewerships. The DVR numbers are great, and hopefully, maybe next year we'll get Michael Hamlet's prediction that they will combine.
Wednesday night will outdraw Monday night.
I hope so. All right, let's talk a little bit about from NXT to NXT UK, because we have had 2 more matches added to the TakeOver Blackpool 2 event for NXT UK. Tyler Beard versus Jordan Devlin. That is going to be a great match. And Trent Seven versus Eddie Dennis also added to the card, which is going to be taking place in January, of course, from the Emperor's Ballroom in Blackpool. Already confirmed on there. A fatal 4-way ladder match for the NXT UK tag team titles. Grizzled Young Vets. We love Zach Gibson, don't we?
I don't mean to shoot on the brand, but it is an absolute crime against wrestling that Zach Gibson is in a tag team.
Anyway, versus Imperium versus Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andros versus Gallus.
Oh, sorry, is that 4 actually well-established tag teams on that brand? Wow, cool. That's 4 more than NXT have got, and they're doing the Dusty Rhodes again.
Yep. A triple threat for the NXT UK Women's title. That's Kaylee Ray versus Piper Niven versus Tony Storm. And a WWE UK Championship match. Walter defending against Joe Coffey. Decent little card.
There's going to be a lot of tricep meat, isn't there? There's going to be a lot of just like slapping flesh on flesh in that Joe Coffey versus
Walter match. It's like the WhatCulture Christmas party all over again.
It is going to be like that, except with none of us look like Joe Coffey.
Not yet.
Not yet. It could be a rough Christmas.
Right,
honestly, that sounds like quite an exciting
I'm
thing.
looking forward to that. I really am. I think that's going to be a great card. I'm a huge fan of Jordan Devlin. His stuff with David Starr and the past
I'd like to go, but Blackpool scares me.
Does it?
Yeah, it's just too many lights and too many noises and too many shrieking women.
I've been to the Illuminations in years.
You've been before?
Yeah, my
Isn't
parents
Phil
used
from Blackpool?
Yeah. We should sail up there. Right, let's move on to your Twitter questions at WhatCulture WWE if you want to get in touch. Clayton starts us off. He says, do you think Darby Allin will be a champion in AEW, and how long do you see his career going in the long term?
I know they've got the ring. I know they've got that ring, but I do feel AEW still needs a mid-card belt. And while Darby Allin wouldn't be at the front of the queue to put it on, he would be in the queue.
I agree completely. Him, sort of Jimmy Havoc, all those sort of, I think they'd be ideal for...
There's a mismatched tag team to be had for him at some point.
100%.
I think. Possibly with somebody who's like, I don't know, Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy accidentally winning the tag team titles would be great. There's an angle there somewhere.
Yeah. And in terms of how long do you see his career going in the long term? Well,
it depends how many of them bumps he takes.
Yeah, those coffin drops don't look good. But then again, he actually managed to hit it this week. So if there's someone underneath him rather than just landing on the hardest part of the ring consistently.
Speaking of coffin drops. Excuse me.
Very nice. Second question here comes from Cody Miller. Cody's asked us a question that now if it doesn't happen, I'm going to be angry at Cody for. Cody says, I saw a report saying Ric Flair's contract is ending soon. So given the fact that the Elite is slowly imploding, Dash and Scott have not re-signed, and Arn's recent comments on if he was building the Horsemen for today, do you think we can see the Horsemen introduce the new Horsemen for a modern era? I really want to see this now.
No, that's too good.
Yeah.
That's too good. That's far, far, far too good.
Well played, Cody.
That's far too good.
You know, just someone plants the little seed and you
go,
go,
my. Cody, my hat goes off to you. I will be passing that idea off as my own for years to come now. Thank you so much.
Let's hope so, Cody. A brilliant piece of booking there. And good research as well. Final question today comes from Joel
Is he better than us?
Yes.
Is that, in one question, simultaneously more research and more entertainment than we do in a week?
In this year, I'd say.
You're hired.
Yeah. Joel Henderson, final question of the day.
No, you're fired, so you've got to go. Cody's hired.
Oh.
No, well, keep it around.
Okay.
You give you 2 weeks.
Basically saying, for this year, or next year's Royal Rumble, what spot do you see Kofi doing to avoid an elimination?
Now, this is my idea.
Okay.
Right? Kofi Kingston. Big E, Xavier Woods on the outside. Twice in the match, Kofi gets knocked out, they catch him, and they put him back in. Yeah, right? Eventually, Xavier Woods gets taken out. It's just Big E. Kofi gets thrown out the ring again. Big E catches him on his shoulder.
Right.
And then hits him with a big ending and goes, I'm not carrying you anymore, and walks away.
What? What?
Walks away, takes credit for his title victory, takes credit for his title run. Like, you never would have won that without me. Look, as soon as I turned away, as soon as I wasn't there, you got beat in 8 seconds. I'm done with you. Big E versus Kofi.
Oh, I don't want that to happen. I'm going to have, same as what you said, Big E.
Because get it, he was literally carrying him.
Yeah, I like it.
He was literally,
it just makes me sad.
Literally carrying him.
I'm going to have Big E and Xavier out there catching him, sending him back in, catching him, sending him back in. Either they get jumped or they get ejected from ringside, and then Kofi's kids catch him. That's what I want. Whoa, chucking him back in.
How many kids has he got?
2, wasn't he?
Not enough.
No?
Not enough children.
Okay.
Sorry, I've done the maths in my head. Not enough children.
Let's move on to today's and finally. And speaking of children, have you seen...
I hate kids. What are you doing?
No, this is this nice photo doing the rounds of Rey Mysterio and Dominic from 1999 and 2019. What a lovely role reversal that is. Aww.
That's quite nice, that, actually.
I like that.
Still hate kids, but that's quite nice.
Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. Myself and, well, at least one of the Dudley boys will be previewing SmackDown a little bit later on today. Plus, just let us know your thoughts and potential job applications about this on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. And whilst you're there, follow both of us. You can follow him at
Adam Cleary, Clery.
Have you got a festive Christmas name on Twitter?
Feliz Navidad.
I haven't got one. Send me your ideas for my Christmas name at Adam Wilborn. But for now, my thanks to Adam Cleary. Thank you for watching, and we will see you soon.